Welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, March 6, 2018. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. The Financial Services Authority, the FSA, and the Financial Intelligence Unit, the FIU, have launched an investigation into allegations of financial irregularities regarding Loyal Bank Limited, an international bank licensed to operate from within SVG, regulated by the FSA. The allegations are contained in an indictment unsealed by the United States Department of Justice on March 1, 2018, implicating a number of companies and individuals, including one of its licensed, Loyal Bank Limited, in securities fraud in several countries, including the United Kingdom, the United States, and Belize. The scheme alleges stock manipulation, money laundering, and other illicit operations, out of which $225,000 out of $50 million are alleged to have been facilitated by Loyal Bank Limited. The Financial Services Authority said in a statement issued on Monday, March 5, 2018, that it has launched its own investigation into the allegations and is, together with the relevant authority for money laundering and financial crimes, the Financial Intelligence Unit, investigating the alleged action of the bank officials involved and is monitoring any actions which the bank itself is taking in view of these allegations. It said the alleged actions taken by two senior officials of the bank are actions which are not in keeping with the laws of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Continuing to advocate the need for a citizenship by investment program to be implemented here in SVG, former opposition leader and member of Parliament for East Kingstown, Annie Eustace, says there are hundreds of millions to be earned from such a program. Speaking on Nice Radio today, Eustace, who is a trained economist, says he does not believe that the forecasted financial growth of 2% for SVG would be made in 2018 as predicted. Quoting statistics of monies gained from the Citizenship by Investment program by other countries, Eustace said that the initiative could improve SVG's economy.
Flat. And before that, in 2011 and so on, we had negative growth in some years. Negative. They projected now that we'll have 2% in 2018. I don't believe that. There's nothing that has happened in the budget that tells me that. It tells me in for more of the same, with 46% youth unemployment and 25% overall unemployment. So there's nothing in the horizon that tells me we're going to have any 2% growth. We still believe that if we handle our tourism properly, that's a big thing. If we introduce our bananas and get back to $30 or $40 million a year in bananas, that's a big thing.
And you still believe we can do that with bananas?
Oh yes, there's no reason why we can't do it. The government is not interested in doing it, except they want to legalize marijuana for certain activities.
Eustace said while there has been criticism about the CIP, including from the current administration, the program has been proven to be legitimate once due diligence is exercised.
Dominica, supposed to say St. Lucia, Grenada, everybody. The United States, in certain states, have it. Canada has it. Britain has it. They alone could do due diligence. We can hire people to do due diligence who have the experience, because they look at the amount of money you're making from the program. The amount of hotels, big name hotels that have now invested in St. Kitts is because some of the same people who are part of the Citizenship Investment Program.
And it has been proven in St. Kitts.
Yeah, exactly.
It is working in St. Kitts.
Grenada and St. Lucia, who started that thing very recently in the last couple of years, they're into the hundreds of millions already, in terms of how much they're earning from it. The thing you have to do, make sure you have the necessary due diligence.
One of the lawyers for the respondents in the election petitions case, Queen's Counsel Anthony Astafan, is of the view that ballot boxes are sacred to an electoral process, and should not be tampered with thereafter. Speaking recently on Boom FM, Astafan said the Court of Appeal was induced into believing that Justice Brian Cutter was biased when he said that the opposition was going on a fishing expedition to have the ballot boxes used in the December 2015 general elections examined. Astafan said that the petitioners or opposition must respect the sanctity of votes in the ballot boxes and was pleased that Justice Esco Henry did not allow for the central leeward ballot boxes to be opened.
Court of Appeal in the Eastern Caribbean have taken a very strong position on a very strict scrutiny of these matters, and very rarely are these boxes opened. The only thing the Court of Appeal said in this case, which has troubled me from day one, is the fact that a Queen's Counsel and a senior lawyer from Trinidad can give the judge the right to go ahead by not objecting to him, and when they lose, ambush him on the basis of bias, and the Court of Appeal bought into that and set aside Cutter's ruling. There is no other way that I can put it. The law in all of these islands requires the oath, the secrecy of the ballot to be absolutely respected, and these boxes must not be opened unless there's cause to open it.
Astafan further claimed that the petitioners' legal team was disingenuous when they asked for all the central leeward ballot boxes to be opened, having initially asked for only 4.
Whether credible or not, allegations were in fact made. No allegations were made in respect of the other boxes in the petition, none. And the judge found that to be a complete and absolute fact. When we acted in good faith and offered inspection of the 4 boxes, Stocky John, Mayor Eustace, K. Bacchus, and the rest of the gang turned around and slapped us in the face and told us they're not interested in that. It's all boxes they want, all. And when you disrespect counsel's genuine bona fides offer, and you try to score cheap points by expanding your case which was not pleaded, you cannot expect us to make the same offer. And it is only when they found out that if all the 4 ballot boxes were taken off, 2 of which Exeter won, people in St. Vincent need to understand that. 2 of the 4 boxes challenged were won by Exeter. When they realized that if they took out these 4 boxes, Exeter can't win, that's when the case said they want all the ballots to be inspected.
The opposition New Democratic Party filed the petition case alleging discrepancies in the 2015 general elections. However, in the ruling to inspect the ballot boxes, Justice Henry dismissed the case and deemed the inspection an abuse of the court's process. The prospective candidate for the opposition New Democratic Party at the next general election for South Central Windward, Israel Bruce, says the party once elected into office will work hard for the development of all constituencies across SVG. Bruce was speaking at a public meeting held in Lomans Windward last Saturday night. Before he addressed the gathering, leader of the NDP, Dr. Godwin Friday, said he considered Bruce a hard worker and expressed confidence that he will be an excellent representative for the constituency.
That is the promise that Israel Bruce brings to you, to continue the work that has been done by Bash and others here in this constituency. This is one of the hardest working politicians in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Every week, every day, there's something with the Israel name going about, because he's working hard on behalf of the people of this constituency. He works hard on behalf of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And if he works this hard in opposition, imagine what he will do in government for you. So I'm happy to have Israel here and to be here today or tonight to say to you that the promises that we make in the Democratic Party are promises we intend to keep. This is why we don't talk things lightly. When we say we're going to do something, it's because we've thought it through, and we want to do it on behalf of the people of this country to make things better.
Noting that most communities in the South Central Windward constituency relies heavily on agriculture for income, Dr. Friday criticized the ruling ULP administration's approach to agriculture, particularly in the area of finding markets for produce.
In the whole Caribbean. But what happened? When you grow it, you can't sell it. That is the problem. And so you don't have markets. And who cares about it? It's only the farmers who seem to care. You hear the Minister of Agriculture, various members of government, they tell you how they have $6 million. This $6 million keep rolling over and over. And that farmers and fishermen could go and borrow money. Borrow to do what? So that you go further in debt? And you don't have any markets to sell your commodities? The fishermen can't find markets to sell their commodities? We have to have a government that look out for the people. The Ministry of Agriculture will have to work for the people, the farmers here. If something isn't working, help them fix it. Don't tell them, go out and fix it for yourself and then come back and let me ask you and find out if you have fulfilled all the regulations, if you jump through all the hoops, if you meet all the criteria and conditions. And then, when things don't work out, you have to pay the price yourself.
Giving the assurance that he will work to make South Central Windward a better community, Bruce said if given the opportunity to represent the people of South Central Windward, his focus will be on developing the constituency, particularly in job creation, and highlighted an initiative he believes can assist in this regard.
For a few years, Major Leacock has been talking about the Constituency Development Fund. And I have warmed to the concept. You know why? Because here why. Brian Dorset in Montgrenan as a technician must be able to teach the skill to other young people in his constituency. Veron Brown, who has the hairdressing salon, must teach it. Wallace Maloney, who is a carpenter, must teach it. Jericho, who is a mechanic, must teach it. You hear what I'm telling you? Etsu Brown of Lauders, who is an electrician, must teach it. But here how it's going to happen under an NDP administration. We are going to decentralize the skill training program. So we will pay the experts to teach the skill to the young people.
Having touched the lives of a number of youngsters since its inception in 2008, the Pan Against Crime initiative has been hailed a success in the fight against crime and violence here in SVG. The Pan Against Crime Committee, in collaboration with the National Commission on Crime Prevention, the NWCP, and the Royal SVG Police Force, hosted a series of concerts leading up to the 10th anniversary celebrations held on Sunday, March 4th at the South Rivers playing field. Nikita Tony tells us more about the event in this report.
Love is the answer, Canary. Love is the answer, South Rivers. Love is the only answer.
Seen as a tool used to draw this nation's youth away from crime and violence, while at the same time equipping them with the skills of playing the steel pan, the Pan Against Crime program on February 20th this year celebrated 10 years of existence. To this end, a grand celebration concert was held at the South Rivers playing field on Sunday, March 4th. Deeming the initiative a success, Acting Commissioner of Police Colin John noted that the Pan Against Crime program stands in line with the old proverb, prevention is better than cure.
Our youths from getting involved in a life of crime, we are not only making our jobs easier, we are not only making the society safer, but we are creating employment by this initiative. Sustainable Development Goal number 16, which deals with peace, justice, and strong institution. And the Pan Against Crime, it deals directly with fighting crime and preventing persons from becoming offenders and making good citizens of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
John further expressed gratitude to the leaders and members of the police band, as well as all other involved stakeholders, for ensuring that the program continues to impact the youth of SVG.
I want to thank the parents for sending the children to this program and for reposing your confidence in us as police officers. I want to thank the members of the public for continuing to support the Pan Against Crime initiative. As Commissioner and as a police force as a whole, we are doing all within our powers to make sure that this Pan Against Crime program enjoys perpetual existence.
Applauding the work done under the Pan Against Crime initiative, President of the Yulu Pan Movement, YPM, Onika Morgan, reiterated her organization's commitment in supporting the program.
Overall initiative has propelled the interest in the art form, and this is recorded by the number of bands joining the movement and participating in our competitions and events. We're looking forward to the unfolding of the benefits from the latest initiative with the focus on the school bands. The YPM would also continue to provide technical support and training as necessary.
Sunday's event also saw a number of cultural performances being rendered by various police youth clubs, church youth group representatives, as well as the police band. Here's a look at those performances.
Jesus, have mercy on me, anything you want.
I need you by my side. Jesus, have mercy on me.
Blood running in the streets like water, a gun in hand, knows no friend, no. Where them get it from, nobody know. Their father was a killer. Don't watch them go. Oh, send me dance.
Some people use your skills carefully. Put down the guns. Crime not pay.
The Pan Against Crime initiative, which is the brainchild of Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, got started in February 2008 and has since established some 13 steel bands in communities and schools across SVG. Nikita Tony reporting for SVG-TV News.
Poised as a regional youth leadership and development initiative, the RBC Young Leaders Program aims to, among other things, promote the development of leadership skills and foster a sense of caring for the community and the environment among the youth. Under the theme, I Am We, Lending Change in Our Community, a number of participating schools across SVG will roll out their projects as part of the 2018 edition of the program. One such school is the St. Joseph's Convent, Kingstown, which earlier today launched its project at the Peace Memorial Hall. Nikita Tony tells us more in this report.
Coordinated under the sub-team, I Am We, Lending a Change in Our Community, Being the Change We Want to See, the St. Joseph Convent Kingstown Young Leaders earlier today, Tuesday, March 6, launched their 2018 RBC Young Leaders project at the Peace Memorial Hall. Congratulating all 33 young ladies selected to sit as the SJCK 2018 Young Leaders, Principal of the SJCK, Antoinette Best Jardine, outlined that the students have been selected to embark on a journey of growth.
At the end of these few months, it is my hope that you would have moved from where you are today to a place where you find yourself more enlightened by the discoveries you would have made, not only about working with each other and not only about the persons whose lives you would have touched through this journey, but by the discoveries you would have made about you.
RBC representative Irma Haynes pointed out that the Young Leaders program has over the years seen continuous change in order to keep with the needs of the time.
Leadership which puts service before self and emphasizes teamship will inspire, motivate, encourage harmony and respect for others, and renounce violence. We encourage you, our young leaders, to embrace this opportunity and also to think globally. RBC is serious about its commitment to youth and in support of youth empowerment towards realizing real change.
In her remarks, President of the 2018 SJCK Young Leaders, Shanae Warrican, outlined a number of initiatives to be carried out under this year's project. She further urged her fellow young leaders to remain committed to being and leading the change.
The theme could not have come at a more appropriate time. A time when the moral fabric of our society seems to be weakening day by day. The ultimate message to be taken for this year's theme is that we must work together in order to not only see this 2018 RBC Young Leaders Program through, but it is the only way in which we are going to impact change.
Delivering the featured address, educator at the SJCK, Melika Providence, noted that the young leaders have been charged with a very important task. She also added that the students should never think that they are too small to achieve big goals.
As you set out on your mission to be the change, I also encourage you young ladies to be more concerned about actually being the change rather than focusing on what any other group this year is doing. Worry not about getting all of the things done, but worry more about immersing yourselves in all that you want to get done.
Vincentian Kenville Horn has been awarded the Commonwealth Points of Light Award from Queen Elizabeth II. He was recognized for his voluntary work in the community of Rose Hall, where Horn uses the sports of cricket and football to help the youth avoid idleness and develop life learning skills. The North Leeward resident said that he is overwhelmed and honored by the recognition, and that the award is a validation of the work he is doing with the children in his community. The 24-year-old said it gives him the impetus to continue helping more youths. The journalist at the Vincentian newspaper, who was awarded the prestigious Queen's Young Leader Award in 2015, is encouraging young people to give back to their communities. He said that this can positively impact human lives and the overall national development. The Commonwealth Points of Light Award is given by the Queen, who is head of the Commonwealth, to express gratitude to 53 inspirational volunteers across the Commonwealth nations. UK High Commissioner in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Janet Douglas, said Horn is a shining example of what can be achieved through the commitment and dedication of volunteers around the Commonwealth. Horn has dedicated the Commonwealth Points of Light Award to some 300 youth who have been involved in the program and to those organizations that continually support them.